Welcome back to the latest edition of the Jake's Take with Jacob Elyachar Podcast. I'm your host, Jacob Elyachar, chief content producer and writer of jakestake.com, a pop culture entertainment news website. I am so thrilled to welcome this guest. He's all the way in England. He has, as of this recording, has over 7,000 YouTube subscribers, 19,000 Instagram followers, and 49,000 Facebook followers. Before the pandemic, he opened for Boyzone, the Vamps, and for Will Young. He's featured on BBC TV News, CBBC, and BBC Radio Leeds. So please let me welcome Asher Knight.
Hi.
Asher, thank you so much for taking time out of your schedule to talk with me today. I appreciate it.
Oh, thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
All righty, Asher. So when did you get interested in music, and how did that passion evolve into desire to pursue a career in the recording industry?
So music was something I was never interested in growing up. I listened to it, but besides listening to it, I never had an interest. Before that, I was doing performing arts, so drama and dance. And when I turned 16, I was forced into having to sing in front of my class in a singing lesson, which I don't know how I ended up in. And I literally just fell in love with music from that moment. I sang Can't Help Falling in Love by Elvis Presley. And after that, things just started to happen. I started to meet people, started to do things, and I ended up just falling into things as time went on to where I am now, where I've been able to go on tour with amazing artists up and down the UK. I've been able to visit the US a lot, which has been amazing, and I've just really been enjoying myself.
Awesome. So who are your role models in the recording industry, and how did they influence your sound?
So my role models vary because I love all different types of music, but one of my main role models is Taylor Swift. I think she's an incredible songwriter. She writes from a real personal place, and it's so relatable and interesting. So I really aspire to be like her when it comes to writing, and even performance-wise, she's been able to create this world around her that is unlike anyone else's. So that's most probably one of my biggest inspirations, artist-wise, Taylor Swift.
Did you see the Grammys? Because she did a phenomenal job.
Oh, absolutely incredible. She does incredible every single performance. There's no mistakes, and even if there's a small little error, she fixes it. I've watched so many of her videos and seen her live so many times. I'm always just excited to see what she's going to do next, because it's always one or two steps further ahead than anybody else, which is incredible.
And not to mention, her last two albums have been phenomenal pieces of work.
Absolutely incredible, and so varied in what they're talking about and the production. It's really interesting and been very inspirational for me over lockdown, just to listen to her music and really reconnect with very raw, authentic music.
I definitely agree, and it proves the point where she actually was the very first female recording artist to win Album of the Year in 3 consecutive decades.
Amazing, just unlike anyone else.
Absolutely. So let's talk about, before the whole pandemic happened, what you opened for Boyzone, the Vamps, and Will Young throughout your tour in the UK. So What have been some of the lessons that you learned from them that helped you grow as a performer?
Well, I was very privileged to be able to open up for them on tour. I never expected I would ever be able to open up for them, or anyone for that matter. So being able to go on a huge tour, from doing small little shows in schools, I go around the country doing little concerts for high school students, and going from that into an arena or a stadium was very interesting and very scary. But the one thing I've learned from all of them is being able to really focus in on different areas of performance, with Boyzone, I was able to learn a lot about performance and how to have a stage presence, even when you're not dancing. With the Vamps, I learned about just enjoying yourself and making the most of the opportunities. And with Will Young, that was an incredible tour because I was the only support act on this. And it was quite a small tour where there wasn't hundreds of people backstage. And so I really got to spend a lot of time with Will. And I was able to learn more about my vocals, about just how to be myself in everything I do, which was incredible. Great.
Awesome. I'm glad to hear it.
Thank you.
So what have been some of the challenges that you faced breaking out of the British and the European music industries, and how did you overcome those obstacles?
How do you mean, sorry?
Like challenges that you faced breaking into, what I meant to say is like breaking into, because as much as the US industry is very intense, I gotta say the British and the European music industry is also is far more intense.
It's very different. I've been very fortunate to experience the American music industry and the European and British music industry. I spent years behind the scenes doing things with known artists and getting to really work at it. So over that time, I started to learn and pick up on little things that a lot of people didn't really know, just the little small things, like making sure to say hello to absolutely everyone, and really being yourself with people. People enjoy it when you're just being yourself. I think that was a great lesson in trying to break into the music industry wherever you are in the world. But it's difficult, especially in the UK. There's so much competition. There's so many great artists around. And that's what makes it exciting. And I think it's just the one thing I've always done is just made sure I'm just being myself. And if people love what I'm putting out, I'm happy. And if people don't like it, that's okay. I just carry on and keep moving. And as long as I'm loyal to myself as a person, and what I believe in, I think trying to get into the music industry becomes a lot easier because of it. And just having a great team around you, all these different things really come together.
Absolutely, I agree. It's about the right people surrounding. It's important that we surround ourselves with incredible people.
Oh, exactly. I've seen so many different artists where they've been surrounded by not the best people for them, and I've seen firsthand people that have got the best team ever for them, and I'm very lucky. I've got a great team around me who are very honest. I love honesty. I don't like anyone saying it was okay when it wasn't okay at all. And I think that makes a huge difference. Team and just being honest with each other and truthful, even if it hurts slightly, having that truth is far better because you can move on and progress from that.
I totally agree. So the entertainment industry has been greatly affected by the COVID-19 pandemic. So what have you done throughout the pandemic to interact with your fans? And also, are you looking forward to returning to touring?
So COVID's been very interesting. A couple of years ago, if someone said to me, we're going to have to shut down the world basically because there's going to be a pandemic, I would have just laughed and thought they were crazy. But it has happened. And first going into it, I was a bit shocked. I was on the road, I was doing things, and all of a sudden it just stopped. So that interaction with people kind of just ended all of a sudden. There's always been social media, but a lot of what I love is actually getting to meet people and just getting to talk to them and get to know them and being able to travel up and down the country. So I started to rely heavily on social media. I think social media is an incredible place just to talk to people and really connect. So doing live streams really helped, and just replying to every comment I got on every picture, making sure having a bit of a conversation with them, which was incredible. And after lockdown and after COVID, I'm very excited to hopefully go back on tour. You know, I've had a few tastes of work. Well, only a couple of days ago, where I got to film for CBBC, and it was the first performance I've done in over a year now. So I was very excited, and I'm looking forward to it, because lockdown has been great for me in some essence, because I can focus on my music. I've been able to write more, and I've not had tons of things going on. But I'm ready now to get back out on tour and just entertain people and take, you know, the 20 minutes, 10 minutes, or however long that performance is, just take away their worries and anxieties and just replace that with good music and enjoyment.
I agree. We have a lot to look forward to with that. So I'm so excited to see you back in action. I want to talk about your single Alone. Can you please share the story behind the song?
So Alone was really inspired by quite a few different parts of my life. I was thinking a lot about lockdown, where we're not allowed to leave the house. Really, we can go to the shops, we can do a bit of exercise, and that was all we could do here in London. And I live by myself in London. My family live 5 hours away via car, and I couldn't go see them. And I felt very much alone in that moment. And I started to think about other times in my life where I felt alone. I felt alone at school. I was badly bullied, and I felt a lot of anxiety and self-awareness, and I didn't know what to do, and I was always worried. And when I left school, I moved to London, and I didn't really know anyone, and that felt lonely. And I had just gone through all these different experiences in life, and the one positive thing I had was, even though in those darkest moments where I did feel completely alone in life, there was always hope. There was always someone there for me, and there was always someone there loving me. Because in those moments, I felt unlovable. I felt like I didn't matter. But someone did love me. Someone did care about me. And it was just reminding myself of those things. And that's what truly inspired Alone. And hopefully other people can relate to that, especially over the year we've just had.
I totally agree, and it's definitely emotional for being to be like I'm just grateful I was able to see my family after New York City lockdown, and be able to stay with them for a couple of months and then come back here and then go back again. But like, it's definitely, I know what you're going through, and it's definitely hard when you're by yourself.
Oh, completely. In London, yeah, very much like New York, you don't really have gardens. There's a lot of flats. Well, you call them apartments. And so you don't have a garden necessarily. And you have to go to local parks to go for a walk and things. And that was difficult because I wanted to get out and about. But then we were limited to, I think, an hour a day at one point of exercise outdoors. And on the walk, you'd kind of see people, and that would make you feel a bit better. But then you're also scared of everything. It was all very new at the time. Now everyone's kind of got an idea of what's going on, and that all those different things really added up to this song, which was inspiring in some ways. You know, taking one of those negative parts of your life and flipping it into a positive, and just trying to spread a happy message to everyone and just remind them they're not alone, which is important.
Absolutely. And I gotta say, I really love, while we're on the subject of music, I really love your covers. You've done a lot of incredible covers on your YouTube page. channel, and I have to talk about 4 of them.
Oh.
Okay, so I haven't had a chance to listen to the original version of Driver's License, but you did a fabulous job interpreting Olivia Rodrigo's Instant Hits.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. That song's absolutely incredible. A lot of the covers I actually wish I had written myself. It's such a simple idea, Driver's License. It's one of those things most people have, and she turned it into an amazing song, that title and that concept. So thank you so much.
You're welcome. Anyone is probably by Justin Bieber is one of my favorite songs of the year.
Oh,
so far.
Entirely. That song is insane. I was literally just listening to his album not so long ago, about half an hour ago or so, and I'm obsessed. His whole new album is absolutely insane, and it's so good to hear some really incredible music coming from Justin Bieber again. It's good to hear it.
I agree. This is probably his best album since Purpose.
I would agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, that song, anyone, like, it was actually incredible with all those jams.
Yeah.
We got to talk about a Grammy winner that you covered, Dua Lipa, Physical.
Yes, I love Dua Lipa. She's absolutely insanely talented, and I was very happy with all the awards she had won recently, and she's one of the most talented people to come out of the UK in a long time, and you know, she's just insane. And I'm very fortunate. I get to work sometimes with a lot of people that know her and have worked with her. So I always feel very excited when I get to hear that she's going on tour or doing this. It's all very exciting. And I can't wait to see what she does next.
I agree. She definitely has, like, it reminds me a lot of when Adele came out.
Yeah.
It's like the same thing that,
oh, sorry.
like the same kind of thing like Adele. Like when Adele first broke through.
Oh, entirely. She's I wasn't really sure when she came out with her latest album. When I first heard the first song, I was a bit like, really? This is very different from your previous. And I was like, oh, will this work? And it didn't just work. It was the best thing I've heard in a very long time. She is insanely talented. And I hope one day I get to work with her, because that would just be amazing if I did.
You and Dua Lipa would be really good. I actually like the Blessed Madonna remix of that album, including the one track that has Madonna and Missy Elliott on the same time.
She's just insane. She's got a whole old school vibe going about her at the minute, and I love that. It's so current, and it's just amazing. Yeah.
All right, we got to round up the covers with, of course, the Taylor Swift one, I Knew You Were Trouble.
Yes, I love that cover. That was amazing. It's one of my favorite songs. And I was able to perform that on my last performance I did just before everything shut down. And it was insane, actually. I had everyone screaming it and singing along. And then I got to release the cover afterwards, and it was just great fun. I do love her.
There must be a feeling when people are screaming and singing at the top of their lungs.
Yeah, it's very weird feeling when you're on stage and people are singing along and screaming. Firstly, I always ask myself why, because it's only me stood up there. I don't always understand that. It's like, but at the same time, I enjoy it because you get to interact with it. You get to talk to them. You're actually interacting with them in a way that I think a lot of people wouldn't understand unless they were there. In that sense, they're singing along with the song that you're singing, and you're wanting to hear them, and it's always incredible. I always get very excited when people actually just enjoy listening to music and just enjoy living in music. So when you're at a concert, you live with the music. You're in that moment, and it's always very special.
Awesome. So, who are your dream collaborators, singers, songwriters, producers, and how would they enhance your sound?
So, Dua Lipa, because I love her. She's an incredible writer, incredible singer, and it would just be awesome to work with her. It's hard because I kind of want to work with everyone. I could name you a list so long. I would love to work with Taylor Swift, for example. Not primarily from the songwriting point of view. I think I would learn so much from her. Just sitting down and writing a song and just listening to what she comes up with and what I come up with and how we'd bounce off each other in that moment. It would be very interesting. And I would love to work with Sia. She's just very interesting. I love the way she writes songs. You know, Chandelier, for example, a whole song based around this conceptual idea of a chandelier, and it just built and built around it. And I think that's insane. And not many people can do that. I don't think I can do that by any means yet. And I'd love to work with her and learn from her.
And you guys admit like songs like Titanium and Diamonds too.
Well, Titanium was a huge, I don't know about the US, but I remember in Europe with David Guetta, that song was beyond huge. Everyone plays it. Everyone still plays it. If you went to someone's house for a party, they would be playing it. If they're at the gym, they'd be playing it. If everywhere was playing it, and it was this huge track that it's one of my favorite tracks of all time, to be honest. And I still can't get over how incredible that song is. You know, and Bulletproof, and all these different connotations with the word titanium, and just all these different things going on. She's insane. You know, there's no other way to put it. She is an incredibly talented songwriter and singer and producer and everything else she does. She's an amazing artist.
Totally agree. An amazing songwriter as well. We got to start writing down the interview. So what are some of your favorite social media platforms? Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, and why do they stand out?
So my main two are YouTube and Instagram. YouTube, I think it's great. Just putting out music videos and things like that. I think it's just a great place. Just put visuals for your music. You know, you can listen to it, but then being able to watch it just brings a new dimension to it all. And then Instagram, I think it's a great place to interact with people. You know, whether it's via Insta Live, stories, the questions you can do on stories, the polls you can do on stories, and even the comments. And it's just an incredible space. And I use Facebook a lot. I use Twitter a lot, but Instagram, I find it a lot easier. I remember when Instagram came out and it was very handy and everyone had to have it. But YouTube also, it's just an amazing platform to just put visuals out. And, you know, I spend hours upon hours every day searching new music on YouTube. And I find things in countries that I've never visited, in foreign languages. And I find it interesting and inspiring. And you don't always get to do that via everything else. So, yeah.
Awesome. So if you had the opportunity to meet with singer-songwriters who want to try to advance their career, what advice would you share with them?
The advice I'd give to anyone that wants to advance their career is work hard, focus on yourself. You know, it's great looking at other people and seeing what they're doing, but focus on yourself and know where you are personally in that process. Don't get caught up with everybody else's successes, and learn from others though. Listen to what advice they've got and take it on board, and keep working. Put yourself in situations where you're gonna meet new people. For example, an open mic night, or little competitions that they have going on in regions of the country. Just go along to one of those. You might not win, and it's not about the winning, it's about learning from others, and you might meet someone along the way that can help you. Sometimes we get very caught up with what everyone else is doing, and I think just focusing on yourself is one of the best things someone can do, and work hard. That's the one thing I can say beyond anything. Just work hard and harder. You can never work too hard, really.
I totally agree. So where can my audience find your music and also connect with you?
So to connect with me, it's Asher Knight UK on absolutely every platform. And if you want to listen to my music, it's absolutely everywhere from Spotify to iTunes, and it's just Asher Knight.
Awesome. So, guys, if you missed an episode of the Jake Stick with Jacob Elyachar podcast, head to Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and Spreaker. Once again, just type in Jake Stick with Jacob Elyachar, JACOBELYACHAR. And also, are you on social media? Because I'm on social media too. Head to Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. Just once again, Jacob Elyachar, JACOBELYACHAR. And Asher, this is a big year for me and my platform, because Jake's Take, the blog that started it all, is turning 10 years old.
Congratulations. Happy birthday.
Thank you so much. And there are so many incredible articles, interviews, and reviews that I've done over the years. And you can all visit them on jakes-shake.com. Asher, thank you so much for taking time out of your schedule to talk with me today. I really appreciate it. You have a big future ahead of you, my friend.
Oh, thank you. And thank you for having me. And good luck in the next 10 plus years of your blog. And everything you're doing is insane. So thank you for having me.
You're so welcome, guys. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for liking. Please leave a 5-star review. And also, please subscribe. Have a fantastic day, everybody. Until next time, thank you.